Metro on 1019 WDET. I'm Kerry Jr. II. From new murals to new development, Detroit is undergoing a lot of change. Detroit Month of Design celebrates the innovators who embrace that change and ground it with practical yet creative concepts in fashion, art, and sustainability. Throughout September, Detroit Month of Design will host more than 95 events featuring more than 500 creatives. And one of those events is Sustain a City. This Sunday at Valade Park, the exhibition will be highlighting the city and its residents' relationship to the environment. Sustain a City is curated by Asia Hamilton. She is the founder and director of Northwest Gallery of Art. Hamilton is also the Climate Resilience Program Manager for the city of Detroit. She spoke with Tia Graham about what a reimagined Detroit could look like when it's environmentally healthy.
Starting things out, we are in the Detroit Month of Design. They're celebrating 10 years as a UNESCO city, which is really, really huge. But you're also going to be a part of it, curating for the Detroit Month of Design, of course. So what is Sustain a City?
Sustain a City is a climate justice public art project. We encourage people to think about Detroit, their city, as a resilient, environmentally friendly, thriving community through art. So that's pretty much what Sustain a City is.
And when we talk about being one of the larger dedicated exhibitions throughout the month of design in Detroit, what does that look like for folks who may not be familiar with what all goes on during the Detroit Month of Design?
Yeah, Detroit Month of Design is, like you said, it's been going on for 10 years, which is amazing. Just art spread out across the city, art activations, design activations all over Detroit in various different businesses. There was a select few of artists and business owners that were selected to do exhibitions or not just exhibitions, but events that focus on sustainability in honor of their 10-year anniversary. And I was one of those businesses that was selected for that.
Now, Aja, briefly go into detail about your position with the city. You're the Climate Resilience Program Manager. How has this position opened your eyes to the issues of Detroit?
When I started with the city, of course, I had been working as the owner of Northwest Gallery, focusing on art and exhibitions and community through the work that we've been doing. And, becoming the Climate Resilience Program Manager, which is super long title, it really just changed my view on what's going on in Detroit. We are experiencing climate change, but we are so resilient that we're just kind of like moving through it and not seeing how the effects are, taking place around the community with flooding, with poor air quality, with what else? Power outages, extreme rain, extreme heat, extreme cold. We're just powering through it. And it really, this role really just helped me to just see how our community is being affected, and have a more strong desire in my heart to just help our vulnerable residents, to understand what they're going through and be able to bounce back from those effects. So that's pretty much what my role is creating programs that help people to get prepared and adapt to our changing weather conditions. Really, Sustain a City, it was inspired by the role that I have now with the city of Detroit. I was working in this area and just wanted to create an opportunity for people to visualize our city as a vibrant, thriving, resilient, environmentally friendly community. And, through visual messaging with art, I thought that this was a prime opportunity to do so. Travis Rex from Save Art Space pitched to me to curate billboards around the city. And I was like, man, this would be a great opportunity to use something every day like a billboard to display a message of hope in our city. We are resilient because we've been through so much, We've dealt with COVID, we've dealt with bankruptcy, we have poverty. What does the city look like without those things? What does a thriving, resilient, environmentally friendly city look like? And so we're using the art to tell that story and to encourage people as they're driving along the city, as well as, stopping at our art opening on September the 6th through art to tell that story and to just encourage people of a brighter city.
Knowledge is power. And so many folks may not know or understand the direct correlation between our environment and health impacts. For me, something that sticks out all the time, Detroit remains one of the worst in the country for childhood asthma rates. Knowing what you know now, why is Sustain a City and the exhibit important to you personally?
It's not important for me. It's important for us all to get this message out. I feel like just as people, and as Black people, period, we are a city that's predominantly Black. We have been through so much. We don't pay attention to, we see the problems, but we got to keep it moving. And this is an opportunity for us to take a stop and pay attention and see how we can how can we make our community more environmentally friendly, with air quality, in adding more trees in, or reducing greenhouse gas emissions by getting an electric car, or transitioning to clean energy, or taking the bus, or walking. That's a simple thing we could do with our health, just walking, or, and cutting down on just gas cars, and, just increasing our stability all the way around. It's an important mission overall, to get this message across of resilience and sustainability so that we can thrive as a community for years and years and generations to come.
Now, let's talk about, because you hit something there that's so important, because we often will notice that within the Black community is that we see the problems that are happening. There are problems that are happening everywhere. But do we have the time or the money or the patience or the energy to actually address the situation that's right in front of our faces? So I think about the billboards and how they are going to have an impact on those who may not be in the circles that we are more aware of in the city of Detroit. And so can you talk about how those billboards are trying to reach all of Detroit and not just those who are in certain spaces or certain fields in the city?
Yes, absolutely. So right now we have 2 billboards. And this is an ongoing project. We are still raising money to get more billboards. So if you want to donate, you can contact us at norwestgallery.com, and there will be a link for donations. But we currently have a digital board, which will it'll show 8 different art pieces, which is close. I keep wanting to call it the train station, but it is now
Michigan Central.
What is it? Michigan Central, thank you. It's been the train station all my life, so now it's Michigan Central. But yes, so there is, we have a digital board that will be displaying 8 different artists on there, and then we have a static board that it will be on Schoolcraft right before Southfield Freeway in the Grandmont area, close to the roller ring. So that's another static board that will just be one artist on there. And but we are looking for, this is an opportunity to donate so that we can get more billboards around the city. We've worked out a deal where we would be able to get those at a extremely discounted rate. So they will be popping up all around the city as people help us with the sponsoring.
Exactly, which so many of us just don't know what a healthy Detroit in that way would look like. Not right now, at least, but there are hopes that we will all have an understanding of what a healthier and safer Detroit looks like. But thinking about that and just thinking about everything that you're talking about with Sustain a City and all the efforts that are happening across the city, trying to make sure that more people understand that we have to move towards the future of sustainability here. What does environmental justice look like right now in the city of Detroit, especially as we talk about Sustain a City? How is that going to connect with the two?
Yeah, environmental justice right now is, I mean, we have to take justice into our own hands. We can't wait on city government or, for the powers that be to help our community thrive economically or in any kind of way. We have to take things, matters into our own hands. And it's by doing little things in your own community. I mean, creating food security by having a garden or, reducing your waste at your home or, planting more trees in the community that will create a respite or a better air quality. It's by walking instead of taking transportation or driving, adding to the gas emissions in our air. So that's what climate justice looks like. It's a justice that you are actively participating in, that you are proactively making happen, because we have to do things personally. Those little steps is what's going to create a full ecosystem that will help our communities thrive.
Hey, Asia, what about when people say, because as you're talking, I'm thinking about the people who say, well, what I do won't matter. What I do, the little stuff that I can do won't help out the larger picture here. So how do you bring those folks into the fold?
Whew. Oh, man.
I mean, because we hear it all the time.
Yeah, we do. And when you said that, what popped in my head was people throwing trash out the windows. Isn't that just yucky boots?
Oh.
Little things like that. It's about taking pride in your community and in yourself. I've seen a lot of, and it takes, it goes all the way up to as major things as us losing people in our community, people passing away or whatever. It's really a matter, it is that serious that we do these little things for our own health. This is for our health and our equality, and really it is a matter of taking pride in ourselves, just prioritizing our health and wellness around the community. If you start with yourself, you can save yourself. You got to put your own mask on first, like they say on the plane, and then it'll trickle down to those around us, because you'll be able to help those other people around you.
Just having this conversation with you now and just thinking about just the little things that you see throughout the city of Detroit where it's like, okay, well, we can improve here. We can have better conversations about this, whatever it may be in that particular moment. But then I still just think about those who are unwilling, I guess, to come to the table and have those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward to actual Sustain a City, which is happening September 6th at Valade Park, what should people know about this upcoming event?
Yeah, it's an amazing art activation. We're going to have not just, art that's dedicated to climate justice. We will also have action tables where people can learn more about various different ways to keep our community thriving. It could be anything about air quality or food security. We have different action tables that will be talking about that, as well as it just being an opportunity to communicate with people that are in that space, and just network and just get to know other sustainability champions in your community. So it's just going to be a good time, and also a time to just celebrate a city that's moving into a more sustainability focused area. I feel like City of Detroit is doing their due diligence through the Office of Sustainability.
Is there anything else you want to talk about in terms of what's going on with the Detroit Month of Design, some of the things that are going to be happening, or anything else that's happening with you in Norwest Gallery?
Yeah. Another thing that to expect at the exhibition is our partnership with Art Responsible. It is a art organization out of Ghana that focuses on using art and recycled materials to strike conversations around sustainability. And we have some amazing works that are in from Ghana. Sustainability, environmentally friendly, thriving communities is not just a Detroit thing. It's an international thing. So we are proud to, be partners with Art Responsible and have some of their works in the exhibition at Valade Park. It is a one-day art exhibit, so the work will only be up for that one day. So you want to make sure that you get there from 3 to 7 p.m. to experience this amazing exhibition.
Asia Hamilton is the founder and director of Norwest Gallery of Art. Hamilton is also the Climate Resilience Program Manager for the City of Detroit. Her installation, Sustain a City, is this Sunday, September 6th at Valade Park from 3 to 7 p.m. Coming up, how 2 women are working to revitalize an iconic hotel in Michigan's Black Eden. Stay right there. We'll be right back on the Metro.